Hi, I'm Norma Strange here. I'm the author of Life-Let-It-Flow-Effortlessly, and we're continuing to dive down into value, how being genuine creates real value, and specifically the section in the book that's called Create Real Value. We're looking at the value of time and money right now, and so I wanted to kind of just paint a picture for you. What if you knew that your job was ending today? Perhaps it's a career that you've invested many years in. What could be possible if you could replace your income? Or let's say that you are getting behind on your mortgage and your interest rate is adjusting. Where are you going to turn to make some additional money? Will you take a second or even a third job to keep things afloat? Many people have had to consider these things throughout different recessions that we've had. We've had lots of turns in the market over the last decade or so. So understanding how you can actually find your financial freedom or to command more value for your unique skills, or be able to find out where it's going to be important for you to play so that you can have maybe another career. Maybe if there's something that's actually coming to an end and you're looking for that next piece. Being able to ask some good questions about who you are, learning about your strengths, learning about your personality type, learning about how you want to exchange value and appreciate the world and let that world appreciate you. These are all important things on understanding your beingness. Once we know your beingness, and more importantly, once you know how well and how capable you are as your beingness, then you can go choose activities to do that will create and allow you to have better success and more fulfillment. I've seen people with success that aren't fulfilled. A lot of times they're just not knowing really how they're wired. They're doing what they think other people want of them. Maybe they're following what a parent told them to be as a career because that creates a good job or that creates a good income. Whatever the motivator of that is, you need to really look at it like, what matters to you? What matters to you the most? How do you want to show up in the world? What do you want your day to look like? How do you want to move around in and out of the humanity? Do you want to sit back and be behind a computer? Do you want to be out in front and be with people? Do you want to take a bigger company and move it forward? Do you want to be in a small company and start from scratch so you can wear lots of hats and get lots of experience? It doesn't matter. It's like what you want. And that's part of the discussion that we do in the book. And in the beginning, obviously, there's a lot that leads up to this particular part about value. But I thought it would be interesting to talk about time and money. Let's first understand that time does not equal money. And if it did, when you were at your end of your life, one of my mentors likes to say, can you imagine being at your deathbed and saying, I have more money, give me more time? Then, because if time equals money, then money would equal time, right? And you'd be able to put that money up there and buy more time of your life if you like. We know that's not true, right? Many people unfortunately find out as they're up against something scary or they've just lost someone in their life. They find out as they take an assessment, they're like, you know what? I don't have fulfillment. I don't have satisfaction. What am I doing this for? It's kind of like I'm wasting away my time for something that I don't even care about. Those are good questions to kind of check on and make sure that you're on the right path. Some of these assessments that we do when we start working with somebody, they can help you to see yourself. Some of them are free. They're easy to do. But being able to have a dialogue with someone like a coach or a mentor, or someone in your mastermind, someone that you appreciate their opinion or their vision of you, they might be able to see you totally different than you can see yourself. That dialogue happening is really important because you might not realize the value that they see in you. And then what happens is you can start seeing that, that's the part that's easy for me to do. The things that they value. How do I add that into my career, have that be part of my job skills? So I can do the things that I'm really qualified to do and make those things the things that people pay me for, right? But time doesn't equal money. And then also understand too that if you've got some expertise, for instance, why not share it with people? You can do what I'm doing here. You could share your expertise in a video and have people watch it. You could share it in a group like we're doing around the books. There's, people that are forming groups or they're coming into individually looking through the book, walking it with me. Like I'm facilitating them learning about themselves and I'm mentoring them. The book itself is supposed to mentor you. It's a conversation basically, and you just journal along. It's helpful to be able to do it on your own. That's great. But if you want some help or some other dialogue, sometimes it's just a question, just a correction, like, hey, I heard you say this, what about that? Have you ever considered this? Those kind of things are maybe more important sometimes than you can realize. It's certainly not about me telling you anything. It's about you discovering yourself and transforming into the best you that you could be, your own uniqueness, helping your life, living it effortless. Life is supposed to be letting it flow effortlessly, right? But we've gotten into a point where we're working so hard. We're trying to make our living. when we've been given life. So what if you flip that around and say, look, I've been given life. What shall I do with it? At the end of my life, what do I want to leave as a legacy? Let's make sure you're at least on the right course. I mean, if you're going to an island of nowhere, let's turn around and make sure you're going into a better position now before you get to this island of nowhere, right? I know that for me, in my business, I was heading off to stress and never having any of my time, and really feeling like, you know, as long as I was cranking on the gerbil wheel, I was making money. But the minute I pulled back, it's like it wouldn't crank long enough, and I had to come back from vacation and crank really hard to try to make it work, being a branding person and creating graphics and marketing for people. I enjoyed the work. I loved it. I was talented at it. But I had something that I was more happy to do, and that was to sell you on you. That was to connect with you and make sure and ask questions like, do you realize that value you have? And it happened way on earlier. I realized this as I looked back on my life. When I was in second grade, and you know, that first and second grade when you're out on the playground at recess, I had tons of friends and we had a great time playing. But I always noticed those people that were on the edges. And I always wanted to invite them to come in and play. Some of them didn't want to, and that's okay. They had the choice, but I at least wanted to make sure they were invited. So that's what I'm doing. I at least want to invite you to think about yourself. What if you could create more with less effort? Would you want that? What would you do with the time that you would free up? What if you were able to do something once and have it be out there, like, you know, people make a song, or you know, they have books or things, there's trainings or whatever, and they get royalties or residuals out of that. Do the work once, sell it over many times, and have that money coming in automatically. You could do a network marketing or a direct sales business where you build a team and everybody loves the customer, the products that are available, and those things happen pretty effortless. People are using those for their lifestyle, and you're getting a benefit because you've introduced them and you've built out a good customer group. You know, you may love to build leaders. You may like to see people develop. I love watching light bulbs come on. I love seeing people catch the value that they are. And when they get it, it is so cool, because that transformational minute that happens, it's like, boom, at that moment, they became the butterfly and they can never go back to the caterpillar. It's the coolest thing in the world to see. And if you've never been through an experience like that, you know, I'd love to invite you to be able to interact with us. You know, we're building a community of people that are collaborating together. We do need to have communities. Communities make us stronger. You're not as great by yourself. No one gets anywhere alone. They all have a team. They all have people that are working with them. And the more that we learn to collectively work together and have collaboration, we can build strong communities, and we can outpace any individual ever. So just understand that the invitation is real, and it's really worthy right now. Opportunities are everywhere. And the question I have for you is, are you ready to do what it takes to make and to attract more money? What would that look like for you? I hope we can have more discussion on that. I'm available for that. Just message me, and we'd love to be able to see what it is that is right there in front of you that's ready for you, because you're priceless. And really, you need to understand that you're incredible. It's time you start living that way. Thank you. We'll look forward to you on future videos.